2-0 win, you must be very happy, Mark. Clean sheet, 2 goals, Ben into his double figures now for his goals for the season, and a composed performance to boot.
Yeah, it was just one of those days where everything went well for us in terms of all the things you look at. Home victory, I don't want to repeat what you've just said, but yeah, all of those things. I'm really pleased for Ben because I think he's one of the top strikers in the league. His goals per games ratio is really high, and for what I would class as his first real season in the league this year, I think it's a phenomenal achievement. And I just hope he can push on and get a few more. But I thought the performance from everybody today, so I don't really want to just talk about Ben. I thought everybody turned up today.
Yeah, talk about your 3 centre halves today. I mean, I know you've had some other players like TJ and Joe Welsh and Sean playing at times, but these 3 have not quite been the ever-present, not far off. And with Carl, they've formed a very useful little unit for you, haven't they?
Yeah, they're very good. I got asked a question the other day about how I've seen the league. They've taught me a lot about the league, what really good looks like. They're all very good footballers, but in terms of defending the box, understanding their craft and their art, they're exceptional. And it's only fair that we add TJ into that. I think he's been very good this year. And Joe's, but I'm a big fan of Joe. He's just been unlucky with injuries. So those lads, and obviously, like you look at Lass is an 8, and he's playing right wing back. Harry's not played the games he's wanted to play, and but has come in. So I think as a defensive group, they deserve a lot of credit.
And in that midfield today, you talked to me pre-match about the form that Max has shown, and we saw a continuation. And if I could use a word about one player all the time, it'd be composure. When I talked about Ethan, it was just all over him today.
Yes, look, the reason I'm pausing, I thought, I don't want to go into too much detail, but there was a specific reason why that group, that quartet played today. And sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't, but everything we looked for and we talked about came off today. So that was really pleasing to see. In terms of their structure and their link-up play and the connections was really impressive. I'm really pleased for Midday when he came on. I thought he was exceptional because all week I had him in the team, and then I had to explain to him why I changed my mind, because he'd been super impressive and that. So for him to come on and do what he did, I was really pleased for him as well.
Yeah, did the League fans see the Midday that you felt you were signing in January? We haven't quite seen that from him up until today.
He's yes, 100%. When he came into us for the first week, that's what he was doing every day, and then he kind of found his way into the team and hasn't quite had that impact. But since he's come back from his injury, he showed us that again, and it was a bit like show me that in games. What a lot of people won't see though, and I have to give him huge credit for that, he managed to find in every game he's played in, although you haven't seen that complete performance, every game he gets an unbelievable opportunity in a game, and that's not an accident. That's a real skill to have that I don't think you can really give somebody. Forest Green away, he obviously scored at Derby, Portsmouth here, and if I go through the other games, there were several other chances he had. Cheltenham away, he's put one over from 6 yards, so he deserves a lot of credit for that, and I just feel that in time he will start finding the goal.
And he's the template. You've talked to us a lot, both on mic and off mic, about what you want from your attacking players: a bit of pace, a bit of power. If you can have as much of both, that's great. And he really showed that today. I mean, the ultimate compliment was the foul on him towards the end. They just couldn't deal with him.
Yeah, and he's done that a lot this year. Like if you think at Accrington away, we were 2-0 up, they kicked off, he goes and presses, wins the ball, and they give away a free kick from outside the box. They have a man sent off and we scored that. So he has shown us that. I don't know this, when I look at Midday this year when he's come in, and Jordan Garrick in particular when he came in, they're really quick players, and they've unfortunately had hamstring injuries, which you get when you're quick, and I think there's been a reluctance from them to show us their speed, which I totally understand. But Midday's certainly beginning to do that.
I tell you, he had a great first half. He came off in the second. Was it precautionary?
No, he's felt his hamstring. I don't know how bad it is, to be honest, and I don't mean how bad. It might be good news, good bad news, if that makes sense. So, no, he's felt his hamstring again. I don't know how bad. And I always feel like I don't answer your questions. It's always about waiting 24 hours, seeing how they react. Maybe not even tomorrow, maybe even the next day. So we'll know more about that on Monday.
Up to 49 points. I know you're looking upwards and you keep reminding us that, but nonetheless getting close to that mark that everyone always talks about, and you put on a show for the home fans.
Yeah, look, really pleased. Just picking up points is the most important thing. Sticking to our processes, more importantly, because I think if we do those things, that points come. So really pleased with our shape today. I think 3-4-3 has really served us well today. and I thought like we looked like a real attacking outlet, but yeah, I've not really put any targets on games or anything like that. So I still got a long way to go. Have to be really humble and keep our feet grounded on the ground, because we've got some tough games coming up.
Speaking of which, you're away at the league leaders on Monday. Must be really looking forward to it. In a way, your team don't have the pressure that they have. It's a bit like the Sheffield Wednesday one, isn't it? They have a pressure of Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday breathing down their necks.
Yeah, look, every game's a tough game, and Plymouth, Stephen will know, playing us on Monday, will have a really tough game. I think what's hard for coaches, and we talked about it before our game today, when we went to Sheffield Wednesday, we felt there'd be a huge expectation from their fans, and if we kept them quiet, they could not turn on the players, but there'd be a different vibe in the ground, and that was pretty evident. And we said today about our fans are really passionate. They get behind us through thick and thin, but naturally when you play a certain team, there's almost an expectation that you're at home, you should win, and football just doesn't work like that. And we talked a lot about that, of making sure the fans, we answer the fans' expectation, and rightly so. And like last year, they had a great 3-0 win against Cheltenham as well, so there's a little bit of that. And I suppose it will be the same for Plymouth on Monday, but I know for a fact Stephen won't approach the game like that at all.
Yeah, they do have a great home record, don't they?
Phenomenal. So do we.
Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mark.